Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet these leg warmers. The pattern is given for baby size, but you can crochet them in any size that you want, including child and even adult sizes. For this pattern I'm using Bernat Baby Sport and a 4mm crochet hook, but you can use any yarn and hook size that you want. Okay, so then to get started, we're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 7. If you're making this for an adult or for a child, you'll want to chain more. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. We're going to skip that chain. We're going to single crochet into the second chain. We're going to single crochet into each chain to the end. Okay, and you should have 6 single crochets, and then we're just going to turn our work. I'm going to chain 1, and then we're only going to work into the back loops of the stitches. So right here we have the front loop. We only want to go into the back loops there. So if you're looking at this, there's your front loop and there's your back loop. We're going to catch that back loop. We're going to wrap the yarn over and pull through. Wrap the yarn over again and pull through. That's your first back loop single crochet. And then we'll back loop single crochet into the next stitch. We're going to do that all the way to the end. You should have 6 single crochets. And then we're going to repeat that row for 24 rows. We're just going to find the back loop again, and then we'll back loop single crochet, and then we'll back loop single crochet into the next stitch. We're going to do that all the way across. Okay, and that creates our ribbing rows. We're going to repeat that row for 24 rows. Okay, so that's my 24 rows. If you're making this for a child or for an adult, you can do more, but 24 is a pretty good size for a baby. So what we're going to do is we're going to join the last row that we did to the first row. And what we're going to do is we're just going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work. You can do this any way that it makes sense to you. So we're just going to pick up the free loop here. Oops. Just going to go underneath the free loop. And then we're going to pick up just the front loop over here, just so that the seam isn't as bulky. And then we're going to wrap the yarn over and pull that through to make a slip stitch. And then we're going to do that all the way across. So we're just going to go underneath the free loop here, and then grab the front loop here. Wrap the yarn over and pull through. Okay, so then we want to work the pattern from the right side. Since we just have made a seam on this side, we're going to turn our work, and then we're going to do the rest of the pattern from this side. So we're just going to pick up our active loop here, and then now we're going to single crochet evenly around. So we made 24 rows, so we want to work 24 stitches evenly around. So we're going to do chain 1, then we're going to single crochet into the first row end, and then single crochet into the next row end. We're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so that's our 24 single crochet all the way around. I'm just going to join that with a slip stitch in the first single crochet that I made, and then we're going to do the bead stitch. We're going to chain 1, we're going to go into the same stitches where we made the join. We're going to wrap the yarn over, wrap the yarn over again, and we're going to pull through only one loop on the hook. We're going to do that again. We're going to wrap the yarn over and go through only one loop on the hook, and then we're going to go through both loops. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to make sure the bump is facing the front. So once again, I'm going to go into the next stitch, wrap the yarn over. We have 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to wrap the yarn over and pull through one loop. I'm going to do that 2 times. So we have 2 chains. I'm going to wrap the yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook, and then single crochet into the next stitch. Going to do that all the way around. Okay, so we're at the end of the second row here, and we're getting ready to make the join, but we're going to change colors. So all I have is a blue. I don't know how well that's going to go together, but we're going to join this round with a new color. So I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch that we made. I'm just going to pick up the new color here, pull that through, and join the round. We're not going to fasten this off because we're going to carry it up at each round. But now we're going to work with the blue. So for the next round, we're just going to chain 1 and then single crochet into the same stitches where we made the join, and then single crochet into the next stitch and into each stitch around. Okay, so this round is done, and we're just going to join that with a slip stitch in the first single crochet that we made, but we're also got to bring up the green yarn here. We're going to carry that up, so we want to secure that in with the slip stitch. So we're going to wrap it over the hook, going to wrap the yarn over and pull through, and then complete the slip stitch. And if you turn your work, you can see it's nice and secure in there. I just want to bring it around so it doesn't get tangled up, and then we're going to start the next round. And we're going to start that with a chain 2. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch. And we're going to double crochet into the same stitch as where we made the join, and then we're going to double crochet into the next stitch and into each stitch around. Okay, so that's our double crochets, and we're going to join that with a slip stitch in the first double crochet. And once again, we're going to take our green, we're going to wrap it over the hook, pull the yarn through, and make your slip knot. And now you can see a little bit better where the yarn was secured with a slip stitch. We're going to continue to work with the blue. We're going to chain one, and for this round we're going to single crochet into the same stitches where we made the join, and single crochet into the next stitch and into each stitch around. Okay, so that's it for the single crochets. So we're going to join that with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. We're going to go in under both loops, but we're going to change back to the first color here. So we're going to pick up our green, we're going to wrap the yarn over, pull that through to complete the slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to chain one, and we're going to do the same thing as we did over here. We're going to do the bead stitch. There's our second round of the bead stitches, and we're going to join that with a slip stitch, and we're going to change back to the blue. So I'm just going to pick that up. Okay, so then we're going to repeat rounds 3 to 6 2 more times for a total of 14 rounds. So we're going to work a row of single crochets. So just going to chain one, single crochet in the same stitch as join. Going to single crochet into the next stitch. Going to single crochet into each stitch around. Okay, so that is my 14 rounds. I've repeated rounds 3 to 6 another 2 times. I did the single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and then the bead stitch, and then I repeated that the second time. And this is where we would do our color change, but because this is all I want to do, I'm now ready to do the top ribbing. We're just going to join that with a slip stitch using the same color. And then we're going to do one more row of single crochets. So we're just going to chain one, going to single crochet into the same stitches where we made the join, single crochet into the next stitch and then to each stitch around. Okay, so that's it for working in rounds. We're now ready to attach the top ribbing, and And we're going to do the same as what we did on the bottom, except we're going to do it as we go. We're going to join it to the top row here as we go. And if you're new at this, or if you're a beginner, you might want to take a stitch marker and you'll want to mark the first 2 stitches off. Okay, and we started with 7 chains, so we're going to do the same again. We're going to chain 7. Okay, and then we're going to skip the first chain, and we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and into each chain across. Okay, so you should have 6 stitches, and then we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch as where we made the join. So that's the first marked stitch here. I'm just going to remove this stitch marker. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch here. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch again into the next marked stitch. Okay, now you can do that again if you want. You can mark off both stitches or just mark off the one. I'm just going to mark off this one here. That's where we're going to slip stitch in next. Then we're going to turn our work. And we're not going to chain 1. Just going to find our back loop here. And we're going to back loop single crochet in there, and we're going to do that all the way across. Okay, and there's our 6 stitches. Once again, we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to find our back loops again. And we're going to back loop single crochet all the way across. Okay, so we're almost done now. Just gotta do one more row. So we're gonna slip stitch into the last 2 stitches here. We should have the same number of ribbing rows as we did before, so it'll be 24. So this is row number 24. Just gonna back loop single crochet into each stitch across. Okay, and that's it. So now all that's left to do is to join the rounds, or the rows, and we should have the same amount of rows here as we did on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is, because this is the right side, we want to make our seam from the wrong side, so we're gonna turn this inside out. There's our seam where we carried the yarn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing as we did before. So we're just gonna chain 1, and we're going to find the free loop here, and then we're gonna slip stitch that to the last front loop there. We're just going to do that all the way across. Find the free loop, front loop there,